Serenade, written in 1944 by Glenn Miller and his orchestra. I'll play a very watered down version here in the key of D. Most of the song I'm just playing one note for the bass and one or two notes for the melody. This first chord is a D6, which is a D chord, except you leave that second string open and you're not playing the first string, so you're only playing strings 4, 3, and 2. And it's like this. And then on the second string you hit a C sharp D and move to the next chord, which is an F diminished. An F diminished looks like this, but you're not hitting the first string, so you only have to hold down. You're playing 3 strings here, you only have to hold down the first fret on the 3rd string. And then again on the 2nd string you play the C sharp and D note until you go to this next chord, which is an E minor chord, E minor 7. And you do this C sharp and D twice. And then you move to this A chord, hitting an A in the bass and hitting this E flat in the melody before moving up to the A7th chord, hitting the E in the melody. When you hit this A chord, you can also hit this open 3rd string here, which is a G note, with your A in the bass and your E flat on the 2nd string, and then go into an A7th, hitting your E on the 1st string, and then an F all by itself on the 1st string, and move to a D chord, hitting the F sharp on the 1st string. So this whole first line looks like this. And then you move into the 2nd line, which is this D line. And the melody there is on the F sharp, G, A, and back of the F sharp. And there's 3 different D chords you can play here. You can play a regular D, you can play a D major 7th, and you can play a D 7th. And you do this D run, which is the F sharp, G, A, 4 times. Like this. And then jump up to this B chord. Now when you jump up to this B chord, I'm playing a B 7th here, but the melody is, in the bass, is the 1st and the 6th string, and then the 3rd string, and the 3rd string you move up 1 fret on it, and you're going to do the same thing down here on the 5th fret. And then you're going to come down here to an E minor chord, hitting the G for your melody, and then the B flat and B, and then you're going to move to a D major 7th with an A bass. Put your pinky up here on the A, and then end in some sort of a D, usually a D with an open B. So once again, from the B part, you hit the 1st and 6th string, do the same thing on the A fret, and then the E, and then to the D major 7th. also end on a D, hitting the F sharp as your melody. You can end on the D, hitting the D as your melody, just depending on how you feel and what part of the song it's in. So the whole verse part of the song looks like this. And then you move to the break. The break starts off with a G major 7th with your melody on the F sharp on the first string. Open it to an E note and then play a G minor chord, so just fret the whole third and that's an A and a G for the melody, and then this. And then you move to this chord, where you're hitting an F sharp in the melody, and you're hitting a C sharp in the bass. And then you go to this F sharp 7th chord, and on the second string you're hitting the 2nd, 3rd, and 5th frets before you go to this A chord. So it's an A in the bass, and on the first string you're hitting an F sharp, and on the second string you're hitting a C, so it's an A minor chord. And then you move to a B 7th chord, staying with the F sharp on your melody. So that run looks like this. This B 7th, you go to the 2nd fret, fret the 2nd fret on everything except for the first string. You hit the 4th, back to the 2nd, and then come up here to the 7th fret, and there the melody is 7 on the first string and 10 on the second string. And then you go to an A minor 7th, which is just you fret the 5th fret on the first 3 strings. And then you go to this B 7th, hitting the F sharp for your melody. You can do this B 7th. And then you go to a E minor 7th, hitting your G as your melody. And then you go to the A 7th, hitting the E as your melody. And then you go back to the beginning of the song, which is the D6. So it looks like this.